crafty friends, welcome to the attic. Today we're going to be working on my series Plan With Me, and I'm going to be working on my August planner. I'm going to be using the kit Summer Haunting from the Paper Bee Creative Design. But first I want to tell you a little bit about the Paper Bee. The Paper Bee, formerly known as Natty and Moon, she has rebranded her business and is now the Paper Bee Creative Design. She can still be found on Facebook, Instagram, and on Etsy and Ko-fi. I will have all the links in the description box where you can pick up this kit and see lots of other kits that she creates. She's also started a newsletter. You can sign up for the newsletter at thepaperbee.buzz. So check that out. Over on Instagram, she's doing weekly challenges, and I encourage everyone to go over and follow her and check out those weekly challenges. And lastly, if you enjoyed Junetober, come join the Paper Bees Facebook group, because we will be starting a summer block party event starting August 1st. So come join the fun on Facebook. For my series, Plan With Me, I'm probably going to be doing things a little differently than most typical planners do. Typical planners have never worked for me in the past, so I had decided to create my own in a journal style. And I decided what I wanted to do is take digital kits to create signatures for each month. And also use it as an opportunity to show you how you can take digitals and use them in other ways other than just traditional junk journals. So we are using Summer Haunting. It is a beautiful kit full of bright flowers and of course our favorite little ghosties. So I'm going to do a flip through of the pages that are in this kit. The kit has 20 pages, 9 ephemera pages, 10 journal pages, and a background page. So I'm going to add some music and do a quick flip through of all the pages in the kit. Like with all my projects, I tend to start out by creating a little mini kit that I'll be working with. So I've picked out a few inks that I would like to use that I thought matched well with the colors. I'm using Distress Oxide Dried Marigold, the Distress Oxide Weathered Wood, and I've also picked out a Versa Magic color. It's a chalk ink. It's called Hints of Pesto. I use these small mini inks to keep in my journal pack that I carry with me. That way if I want to do any inking on the go, I have something with me versus carrying my full-size ink pads. I've also picked out a few ribbons that I might use, some stamps, some journal stickers, I have some planner stencils, and in my journal kit I keep some stamps that I might like to use. I don't carry these around with me. I generally use these to create my journal and fill everything else in later with pens. When I start out doing planners, I normally like to do a little sketch of how I think I might want to lay my pages out. I'm changing things up a little bit from my July planner. Instead of having daily pages for everything, I decided I would like to do a weekly spread for some of my trackers and my to-do list. So I've created a column that has a day of the week, the days of the week, a run-in to-do list for that week, a section to track the weather for each day, a section to make my video schedules for every day that week, a section to list the meals I plan on making for dinner that week, and then a section to track my social media. When I'm printing out my pages to do a journal for my planner, I normally print the regular pages, journal pages, at full size, because a lot of times what I will do is cut out pictures that I'm planning to use, and if I decide that they need to be a little smaller, I can always go back and print those at a reduced size. But for the ephemera, I normally print those off at 2 to a page. That just makes them a little smaller, and I find them a little easier to work with in a planner situation. I'm going to pause the video now, cut out my ephemera, and then I'll be back. When I was coming up with the idea for this series, it came about because I was trying to make a planner for myself, and I was trying to decide what I needed in a planner, because as I said before, traditional planners just didn't tend to work for me because they had a lot of things I didn't really need in them. So I decided to try to do a modified bullet journal style, but I also wanted to include some pages in there where I could do some journaling and or other types of memory keeping. Most people don't normally think of journals and planners as being part of memory keeping, but it is a big part of memory keeping. Anything we write down that could possibly be read in the future by ourselves or by others is a way of helping us preserve those memories. So when I was coming up with ideas of how I wanted to do the journal, I thought about ways I wanted to use the journal and the planner that would be useful for my everyday life, but also ways that I could preserve memories for people in the future. That's where the bullet journal style really appealed to me, because I could pretty much create it any way I wanted to do it. Most people don't traditionally think of planners and journals as being memory albums of sorts, but I think they're exactly that. Anything we write down to help ourselves remember things, and or if someone else comes later and reads our thoughts, these are all ways that we have preserved those memories, be it from just daily memories, be it from just daily activities of what we did that day, how the weather was. Anything we thought was worth writing down is always important. I do a lot of genealogy, and as I've gone back through records, stories of people's daily lives have always interested me more than just the typical names and dates that you find in a lot of record keeping. So that's why it was important to me to come up with ideas and ways to preserve memories in my everyday life. I'm going to go through and stamp out the days of the month, and I'm using the weathered wood, distress oxide, and just some number stamps that I have. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit and just get those numbers in on the calendar. I've got all my ephemera cut out now, and I've put together my pages for the journal. I've got a hard cardstock 110-pound outside cover and then 7 dot grid journal pages. I got this paper off Amazon. If I can find the link, I will put that down in the description box. And I've just put them together and attached them with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. If you don't want to do the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, if you had a long-armed stapler, you could staple this together. So what I'm going to do now is pick out my cover image. I'm going to go through and just pick out which image I think I would like on the cover. Really like that one with the cat. Let's see what else we got. Oh, I like that one with the little black cat also. I think I want to go with the one with the words and the little white and spotted cat. And what I generally do with that is I'll just put my image up and kind of decide the sizing. And a lot of times with journals like this, I like to, instead of cut them out with scissors, I like to tear them because it already has the little rustic edge kind of here. I have a tear ruler I think I'm going to use. You can measure this if you wanted to. I tend to, if I can get away with not measuring, it's not my favorite thing to do. I did go ahead and ink up all the pages of the journal and the cover with the 2 Distress ink colors that I was using. I kind of did every other page, Weathered Wood and the Dried Marigold. What I'm using is a tear ruler. I think I also got these off Amazon, and again, if I can find the link for that, I will put that also in the description box. I like to pay close attention to the outside cover image that I'm doing because that will be what I see every day when I'm doing the journal, so I like it to be something that I like seeing every day. I'm going to go ahead and just ink these edges. And I like that. I like the sizing on that. I'm going to go ahead and just glue that down. I'm using my Art Glitter Glue. I like the tip on that. It does give you a lot of control of the glue. The only thing I don't like about it, it is so fine that in the summer, when it's really hot, it tends to clog up really fast if I don't pretty much constantly keep a stopper in it. I love that little ghost. Alright. The kit did come with some sentiments, word strips. I'm trying to decide how I want to use those. I have some little labels. I might want to do just a little cluster. Kind of like that. When I'm doing things like a planner, like this journal, I try to keep things kind of flat, not do a whole lot of 3D embellishments because it makes my journal a little too fat and bulky. But I do like to add some touches of decoration. Like that better, or do I like that? I think I like this better. That is a sticker. It won't have that outside white edge to it. I think I like that. Okay. I think I'll add it kind of at an angle. I'm going to ink the edges of the word strips. I think I'm going to kind of overlap them a little bit, where it almost looks a little bit like wood planks. I like that. Alright, let me ink up this one and we'll glue those down. What I'm going to do is glue them together and then put them down as one piece, and generally get them lined up a little bit better, kind of the way I want when I do it like that, versus trying to come back and glue one on top of the other individually. It's been so hot here recently. I picked this kit because it reminds me a little bit that fall is coming, and I am very excited about when fall is going to come. It has been so hot this summer. Alright, I like that little cover. Alright, inside of the journal, I'm going to put on the inside cover, I'm going to put my monthly spread. I'm going to ink that up first before I glue that down. I think I'm going to ink this with the weathered wood, since I did do the numbers with the weathered wood, even though the pages are inked in the dried marigold. I think that'll give a good contrast and blend well and fit with a lot of the images that are in the kit. I like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get this glued down. I was doing some testing of some new dot markers that I got. Make sure it didn't bleed or goes through the paper, and it did not. But I didn't want to waste this paper, so I decided this would be a good page to use those on, since they would get covered up. this other one glued down. I mentioned earlier in the video that this is a design team project for the Paper Bee, formerly known as Natty and Moon. Again, she has rebranded her business, but you can still find the same great quality of kits that she had before. We're also starting a new event starting the 1st of August in her Facebook group. I'll have the links for that information also in the description box. Be sure to go over and join the Facebook group. We'll have freebies. We're calling it the Summer Block Party. So we'll have a lot of summer inspired images. We've got other designers that are coming in, kind of like Junetober. This event will not be as large as Junetober was, but it still will be packed with freebies and fun things. So I do hope you come over and join us in the Facebook group. I did mark the calendar when I first started, just to make sure I kept my numbers straight. I like when I'm doing my monthly spreads, if the week starts in the previous month, I like to go ahead and include that, because I do tend to plan for the week, not just when the month ends. So I do like to go ahead and include those dates there, so that when I'm planning my week out, I'll have those dates also. I'm going to go ahead and decorate my monthly spread here, because I like to go ahead and get that done, because it's one of the things I'll be looking at daily. And I like to create something that I really like to come back and look at often. Pretty things tend to be easier to use than just plain ordinary. I'm going to add a little bit of this strip down the side, almost like washi tape. Again, I'm going to use the tear ruler. I'm using the paper strip here to give the washi tape effect. I wanted to try to use as much of this kit as possible and not add a lot of elements that you would have to purchase, to just make use of the full digital kit and show you what all you can do with the kit other than just traditional junk journals. I'm going to add some music here so that you can watch as I finish decorating this full calendar spread. I'm fussy cutting some of the elements out of the journal pages to make corner stickers. This is something I really like when I see it in other people's journals, but I didn't want to go out and buy stickers just for this project, so I decided to try to figure out a way to try to create my own with the digital kit. And I love the flowers that were in the journal pages in this kit, so I thought they would give the look of the stickers, and I think they made a great addition to this spread. Thank you for joining me for part 1 of my August Plan with Me. If you like this series, please hit the subscription button and the notification bell, and you'll be notified when I put up part 2. And until next time, y'all take care.